Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Believe you can and you're halfway there. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. To educate a person in the mind but not in morals is to educate a menace to society. Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right. Keep your eyes on the stars, and your feet on the ground. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Courage is not having the strength to go on, it is going on when you don't have the strength. Speak softly and carry a big stick, you will go far. I am a part of everything that I have read. I am an American, free-born and free-bred, where I acknowledge no man as my superior, except for his own worth, or as my inferior, except for his own demerit. No one cares how much you know, until they know how much you care. Whenever you are asked if you can do a job, tell them, certainly I can. Then get busy and find out how to do it. Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering. A man who has never gone to school may steal a freight car, but if he has a university education, he may steal the whole railroad. When you play, play hard. When you work, don't play at all. No man needs sympathy because he has to work, because he has a burden to carry. Far and away the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Don't hit at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. If you've got them by the balls, their hearts and minds will follow. Politeness is a sign of dignity, not subservience. The reason fat men are good-natured is they can neither fight nor run. Comparison is the thief of joy. The joy in life is his who has the heart to demand it. If given the choice between righteousness and peace, I choose righteousness. It is not often that a man can make opportunities for himself. But he can put himself in such shape that when or if the opportunities come he is ready. Character, in the long run, is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. There is not a man of us who does not at times need a helping hand to be stretched out to him, and then shame upon him who will not stretch out the helping hand to his brother. Order without liberty and liberty without order are equally destructive. No man should receive $1 unless that dollar has been fairly earned. I am only an average man, but by George, I work harder at it than the average man. Women should have free access to every field of labor which they care to enter, and when their work is as valuable as that of a man it should be paid as highly. The worst of all fears is the fear of living. For those who fight for it, life has a flavor the sheltered will never know. Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. Nothing worth having comes easy. No man is above the law, and no man is below it. 90% of the work in this country is done by people who don't feel good. I put myself in the way of things happening, and they happened. I care not what others think of what I do, but I care very much about what I think of what I do. That is character. All the resources we need are in the mind. Complaining about a problem without posing a solution is called whining. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. The lack of power to take joy in outdoor nature is as real a misfortune as the lack of power to take joy in books. With self-discipline most anything is possible. A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. It is only through labor and painful effort, by grim energy and resolute courage, that we move on to better things. People ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads, and the boss drives. Get action. Seize the moment. Man was never intended to become an oyster. Old age is like everything else. To make a success of it, you've got to start young. A vote is like a rifle, its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. The boy who is going to make a great man must not make up his mind merely to overcome 1,000 obstacles, but to win in spite of 1,000 repulses and defeats. No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his well-being, to risk his body, to risk his life, in a great cause. Great thoughts speak only to the thoughtful mind, but great actions speak to all mankind. 9/10 of wisdom is being wise in time. I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head. Leave it as it is. The ages have been at work on it and man can only mar it. Big jobs usually go to the man who prove their ability to outgrow small ones. Absence and death are the same, only that in death there is no suffering. The one thing I want to leave my children is an honorable name. No great intellectual thing was ever done by great effort. I have never in my life envied a human being who led an easy life. I have envied a great many people who led difficult lives and led them well. This country will not be a permanently good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a reasonably good place for all of us to live in. If a man does not have an ideal and try to live up to it, then he becomes a mean, base and sordid creature, no matter how successful.